Hello and welcome back to some more TMNT standard content. Although I don't have a lot of TMNT cards in today's deck list, however, we do have one of the breakout decks to come out over the past couple of weeks, and that is Mono-White Momo. So I want to say this deck started to become a lot more popular right about maybe a week prior to the Spotlight in Richmond. And I want to say it won 3 MTGO challenges in a row, so it must be pretty good, right? Basically, this deck is built around Momo Friendly Flyer, probably the most important card in the deck list. And if you've watched videos on this channel around, Avatar coming out or a month after Avatar came out, I've tried tried a lot of different ways to make this card work. I've tried Azorius, I've tried Orzhov, I've tried Boros, I think we even tried Jeskai at one point. Just endless amounts of different builds featuring Momo. And it turns out the entire time the right way to build it was, checks notes, Mono-White? So I think another big printing that maybe was not necessarily talked about as much when Lorwyn Eclipse was coming out, because there was so much hype around other cards like Elementals and Ashling and all these things like this. Springleaf Drum is a very powerful card. People don't realize that the people who weren't playing during the time where it was legal before in Lorwyn and then I think Born of the Gods, it's a very powerful card. You're giving mana acceleration to decks and colors that wouldn't normally have access to that. And when you combine Springleaf Drum and Momo, which is kind of also mana acceleration, you have a core of a deck in a mono-white deck that has effectively 4 mana accelerants that wouldn't normally even have a single copy of one. Now, in the case of Momo, it does restrict you to only playing flyers, but it turns out there's a very powerful flyer that not only when you're warping this, costing 1 less is pretty big, but also the nature of what this card does synergizes very well with Momo, and that is Starfield Shepherd. So if you have a Momo in play, you can warp this for a single mana, go search your library for a basic plains or a creature with mana value 1 or less. So you can search a copy of Nurturing Pixie, which you can then play to return the Starfield Shepherd, and maybe do it again. Kind of depends. Sometimes you want to hold the Shepherd for next turn so you can keep the loop going. You can also search up stuff like Figure of Fable, which, given the fact that you have Springleaf Drum for some extra mana, you can get to level 3 relatively quickly. Curious Farm Animals for a little bit of artifact and enchantment hate, but really, what Momo and Springleaf Drum are facilitating is Sage of the Skies. This is a 2/3 flying lifelink for 3. It says when you cast this spell, if you've cast another spell this turn, copy the spell. So if you have say you have an opening hand that has Momo, Springleaf Drum, and Sage of the Skies. If you play either the drum or the Momo on the first turn, you can then on turn 2 play the other one, whichever one you didn't play, and then your second land, and then you have a 2-mana Sage of the Skies, and you have 2 mana available because you have the drum and the Momo, which can tap for 1 mana, plus your other land. So turn 2, you've made 2/2/3 lifelinks, and you still have a Momo and an extra mana source in play. That's pretty good. And then you can sort of follow that up with stuff like Cosmogran Zenith to make your creatures bigger. The life gain off of Sage of the Skies, very powerful with Halia. Also, Halia very good with things like Starfield, because if you're warping this for 1, that's 1 life gain trigger. You're searching up a Pixie, that's a 2nd life gain trigger. Replaying the Shepherd, that's a 3rd for the Halia, so on and so forth. And then White just has some of the best removal in the format. You get to play 4 copies of Seamrip, and we don't talk about Get Lost, but it's here for moral support. And then a couple of Voice of Victories to help pair with the Halias, as mentioned. And then the other upside of playing Mono-White, one of the, quite possibly maybe the best upside, is 4 copies of Abandoned Air Temple. Very powerful because of how wide this deck is going, with the lifelink that it has off Sage of the Skies, the evasion that it has with how much flying. Just everything about this deck just works so well together, and I'm not surprised to see it pop up and do very well recently. And then in the sideboard, again, White gives you some banger sideboard cards like 4 Rest in Peace and 4 Clarion Conqueror, good against Lessons, and then Clarion, very good against those Badgermole Cub decks. Couple of disenchants and a couple of anti-sweeper measures in the form of a Demi of the Silk Shoots and then some Sheltered by Ghosts for the other aggressive decks. But again, this deck has been doing so well over the past couple of weeks on both Magic Online and in the paper platforms, and I'm not really surprised because I played this deck and it was incredible. So if you're thinking for a deck for your next upcoming RCQ, definitely give this one a try. But without further ado, I will see you back here in just a little bit for the first match. I do want to build like a black-white version of this. I really want to try And I don't know what the rest of the deck would look like, but we played against a deck last night that had Cosmic Grand Zenith and Last Ronin's Technique. And that, like, the synergy between those two cards looked really good. So I want to, at some point today, like maybe, after we play this for a little bit, try like an Orzhov version of it with like Dreambeaver, and I don't know what other black cards you'd want. Yeah, sure, you can link it. I'll take a look at it. But yeah, like, I don't know if I want to play Momo. I was thinking about just making it more pixie focused, where I'm gonna go Shepherd here. I was thinking about making it more pixie focused, where you just play. I'm just gonna get a figure here, where you just play like what's it called? What am I trying to say here? Like Pixie, Nowhere to Run, Dreambeaver, that kind of stuff, and maybe you don't play less of the one drops. But I don't know. I mean, if you're playing Zenith, then it does make sense to play Drum too. You know. I'm sorry, what? I guess if they kill Momo, I just get another one, but I don't know about that. So I can go Halia, Shepherd, Pixie. I feel like I probably would have killed the Momo there. Pixie. 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 Hit for 3, draw card. God, this deck has some nice draws. Whew. Oh, 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 fan me down. Fan me down. Okay, Momo Pixie. So Dreambeaver, Momo, Pixie, Seamrip, Drum, Voice Shepherd, Zenith, Halia, Sage, Shredders. Wait, where's the Ronins? Oh, I thought you were playing Ronins. I want to try Ronins in this deck. Because I just think Zenith plus Ronin is so good. Oh. Now they kill the Momo. Okay. Okay, weird play. But I'm actually going to play around them. I'm going to play around them having another Boomerang Basics by killing the Furnace. It's a weird play for sure, but... This is good if they have second Boomerang Basics. Okay, well. Fuck me. Yeah, similar idea to what this is, but I also want to play, It doesn't work the way you want it to. Did they think that... did they think that was gonna happen? I guess there's no point to cast Seamrip now. I'm pretty sure they thought they were gonna kill a creature off of that, but, you know. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways. Okay, so they're like the, they're probably the more Blink version, Blink focused, right? Like a Riddler Splash Portal and stuff. Because the Prowess deck does not usually play Roaring Furnace. So I would guess Riddler, Portal, Trainer, that kind of stuff. Which basically what I'm getting at is I think Rest in Peace is worse against that version. But Seamrip is not doing a ton here, so I think I cut those and play these 4 and call it a day. Try that. Alright, game 2. Blue, red, blink. What do we got? Against Here's Johnny. I mean, I want to. I think if I had a copy of Shepherd, I might keep the sand. Okay. It's probably too many Shepherds. It's interesting. That kind of makes me want to play the Drum first, honestly. Slow roll the Figure of Fable for a little bit. And then I could probably go turn to Shepherd, get a Plains. Pixie, pick up the Shepherd. Maybe like turn 3 figure. We'll see what happens. See if we draw. Okay. There's a Halia. So Shepherd, Pixie, pick up Shepherd, get Plains. Next turn we go what? Halia, Shepherd, Pixie? Yeah, that seems fine to me. Get Plains. Yeah, and then next turn we get to go Halia for 1, Shepherd for Pixie, Plains, Pixie, pick up Shepherd, draw a card. I like that. Did I try Peter Parker's Camera in Affinity? I did not. Okay, there's Splash Portal. That's going to flicker the Riddler, which is annoying, but we do have a Get Lost, so it's not the end of the world. I actually think I'm going to let them have the Riddler for a turn and just do the Halia line that I mentioned before, because it's just a much more efficient use of my mana. The other alternative would be, like, Get Lost the Riddler, play Figure of Fable, level it, which is not the worst. Like, definitely not a bad line, but this gains me a little bit of life, draws a card, gets a Pixie in play. I think it's okay. Okay. Well, I mean, we have the Riddler covered. It's fine. Don't care too much about that. What's up, Florent? How you doing today? It's gonna take care of the Pixie. Ow. Yeah. 1 mana draw 2. 1 mana draw 2, pretty good. Okay. This is getting dicier. Do I have a Pixie left? I think I have 1 left, right? I have Juan Pixie left. It is pretty funny how often this deck just keeps looping Starfield Shepherd over and over again. Okay, I can't do that anymore. I'm out of Pixies now, but... kind of wish I had one more Pixie. What would the Peter Parker's Camera do in Affinity? Because it doesn't actually do anything, but like doubling up Krang's trigger doesn't do anything. Unless you can somehow empty your hand at instant speed before the second trigger resolves. It's not just like copying a draw 2, you know? Okay. In case you were not aware, we are very behind now. I am extremely behind. I'm like thinking to myself, did I skip a land drop at some point this game? I don't think I did. But it feels like I'm so far behind that it feels like I must have skipped a land drop at some point, but no, that's just the cards, man. That is just the cards. So, if I don't have Pixie, what can I get instead? I can get a Farm Animals, maybe? I guess I'll do that. Hopefully live a turn. I just want to draw a card with the Halia. Any work to see the list I ran last weekend? You mean in Richmond? I just played stock Demir Excruciator. I did post it on Twitter, and you can also if you check the spotlight, like if you go to the melee page for spotlight, you can search, and my deck list is posted there. But it's nothing special. It's just stock Demir Excruciator. Nothing crazy. I mean, I was really excited about Affinity going into the stream on Thursday, and then we just had such a bad run on Thursday that I just don't think the deck is powerful enough. Like, obviously, I want it to be good because it's cool, but I just don't think it's there. Like, it's hard to tell what it's missing, but it feels like it's missing something, but I can't exactly pinpoint what it is. Trying to snipe with Excruciator. I just wanted to play a good deck, you know. I think that, like, in theory, I think it's supposed to be okay against Landfall, but I ended up losing to Landfall twice. So maybe it's not as good against Landfall as I thought it was. This is bad. By the way, how do they still have 4 cards in their hand? Like, what is happening? I was never even in this game for a second. Good God. Alright, here's my Giga Chad play. You ready? This is the Giga Chad maneuver. Alright, you can go. Please don't kill my 4/5. It's not gonna work, but, I don't know. I don't know what other plan I have. So they'll have exactly 6 cards in hand, which means, yeah, they'll go to 6 cards. So I actually, wait, no, I can just sack the farm animals, right? Hold on. This is maybe okay. I hope that's good enough. Because then, if they play the Furnace, they only... Oh, but I have to block anyway. It's irrelevant. It does not matter. Yeah, they bounced that. I go to 1, but I just don't have any outs. Okay. I am on the play. Maybe, I guess I need Same Rips. They didn't show us the Talents game 1. But I should have maybe assumed they were on Talent. I guess I'm just not going to bring in these. Kind of want the Requisitions, though. Maybe I can trim... I don't know. I kind of like all my cards. Can trim a Get Lost, maybe? And maybe a Zenith? A Pixie? Let's trim a Zenith. Play 2 of these. Try that. I think the good draws from Landfall are hard for most decks to beat. Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't even like... The thing is I think that game 1, the matchup is fine. It's just the problem with the Doomsday versus Landfall matchup is when they have the 1-2 punch of Torpor Orb and Sapling Nursery, where it's like Torpor Orb shuts off your access to combo, and Sapling Nursery means you can't play along against them. If they resolve those 2 cards, the game ends. It's just impossible. It's impossible to win for Doomsday when they have those 2 cards. I'm going to keep this hand. I know it's risky, but I got a drum. It'll work out, trust me. Hey! Hey! I kind of want to kill their drum, honestly. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. I don't know if this play is right, but... What was I going to say? This town ain't big enough for the 2 drums of us. I don't know, something like that. You get the idea. That was kind of cringe. I was trying to go somewhere with that, but... yeah, I guess we're just doing this, maybe? Really wish they didn't kill that voice. Yeah, this drum ain't big enough for the both of us. That's fine. That I'm cool with. Okay, fuck you. Actually, fuck off? Yeah, alright, can't complain now. I think it's gotta be 2 1-1s, right? They could have another, No, I'm actually gonna go counters. Because they could have another furnace. If they're willing to sack the first one. And if they draw a furnace here, they only have 4 cards in hand. I think I like that. Okay. Pixie? I mean, I guess that's good, right? it's better than drawing a plains. I'd rather have a shepherd or a pixie, but well, they don't have a 6-mana. Oh, they have furnace. No, they don't have furnace in hand, right? Okay, that's fine. Again, could be worse, right? Could be worse. Just immediately make it a 4/5. Okay, hold. Hold. Although my creatures still don't attack past a Riddler, so we gotta figure that out, you know. Wait, why didn't they bounce the Zenith? Why would they bounce my 1-drop? That don't make no sense. I guess they were... No, that does make sense. They were worried about me getting to level 3, I guess. Yeah, that's fair. So, your turn? Next turn, we're threatening this, I guess. I mean, obviously, they can just go Talon, pick up Boomerang, bounce the figure again, but... I'm at least gonna make them do that, you know? Okay, or not. What does that do? That makes 1/1s, I guess. I think. What's up, ArcD? How you doing today? It's gotta be 1/1s here, I think. Oh, I can still activate the temple because I have 2 drums. Okay, okay. Man, it's not like I'm gonna take 18 next turn, right? That's actually kind of huge. The second drum. Hold! No, I still have the shredder. It's right here. I didn't actually, like, look to see what the dealers were offering, but it's still right here. I want to say somebody told me they were offering, like, almost 100, but... I do kind of want to sell it at some point. Figure of Fable. They're 140? I didn't know they were that much. I don't even want to know what the foil ones are. Okay. So, I think I do want to cast this. Because it does threaten lethal next turn. I mean, I might as well attack. Right? I should have attacked first, but probably would have been the same thing. It does kind of suck they've been drawing 2 cards a turn for the past while, but... Okay, this is strange. I'm a little surprised they wouldn't just go Talon, pick up Boomerang. That must... Okay. I was about to say that must mean they drew a Boomerang. They didn't draw a Boomerang. Not really anything else. I bought a skateboard, the Krangs, the Ravenous Robots, I bought Chrome Domes, But other than that, I haven't really interacted with the set too much. I'm in love with the Choco. I have to imagine Figure of Fable has got to be a good card in this matchup, right? Mikey! The weirdness is now at 11. Yeah, I'll kill that. If you insist. The Grixis version? I did actually see that version. I think it was like a lot more controlling with like Grimbauble, I want to say they had Tiding Blade, but I can't remember. Maybe that's just a better way to build it, because you don't have enough cheap artifacts to be fast. And what I mean by that is you don't have any 0-mana artifacts. So it's it's very tough to try and build a low curve version of Affinity when you don't have the zeros. So I think it just generally kind of probably makes a lot more sense to play the like a more controlling version that just has Grimbauble, Tithing Blade, stuff like that. Because it's harder to take advantage of cards like Ravenous Robots and Krang when you don't have the 0-mana artifacts. So I've been thinking about that. But at the end of the day, I still just think the artifact stuff is just not powerful enough. Compared to what everybody else is doing, it's just... Like, I hate to say it, but the deck is simply just not powerful enough. You know? I think they had a feature match round 9 in the Turin RC. I'm pretty sure it was a round 9 feature match. Well... Huh. Does it even make sense to attack? Yeah, I guess. Alright, we were on Plan B, which is draw on land. I was going to say untap land, but they're all untap lands. Plan B, draw a land. And we have a 2-turn clock with the figure. Assuming we have enough time, but... Which, okay, maybe I won't have enough time. It's possible that I won't have an extra turn. Don't mean to alarm you, but I think you may have a twin. News to me. I mean, I wasn't in the feature match area, so... I was too busy getting destroyed. Whatever round it was. Actually, I won round 2. So if it was round 2, then, you know. Okay. That's a lot of counters. That's a lot of counters. Okay, I no longer think we can race them. I guess we're technically not dead. Make some chump blockers. We're not dead, but are we really alive? You know? It sure doesn't feel like that. You may proceed. We're dead to Earthbender Ascension. Might also just be dead to Might Form. Because they can just make everything lethal with Might Form. I mean, I can technically survive Might Form by blocking with everything, but I don't really have any outs. Forest. Alright, you have a 2-2. Yep. They're making some big dudes. They're making some large individuals. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yep, 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 yep. 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 What if I just didn't block? Five, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13? Is that right? No, because they can double counter, right? Fetch here, then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Yep, yep. So I have to chump block one more thing. Oh, man. Yeah, because if I do this, they crack fetch, put a counter here, and that would be 6, 10, 18 with these three if I don't block the Badgermole Cub, so I have to do this. Yeah, that sucks. I don't really think I had any outs anyways, but now I definitely don't have outs. Ugh. I thought I had outs, but turns out I don't. Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, I'm dead. Alright, Clarion sheltered. I think everything else is kind of mid. I don't know about you guys. I almost want to cut fucking Get Lost against them. Holly is definitely gone. If I'm cutting Hollias, I think I'm also going to cut the voices. And I actually, no, I mean, I don't know. Just the thing about Get Lost is it's a lot worse if they have Michelangelo, you know? Yeah, Split Up could be interesting. This would be a good matchup for Split Up for sure. That'd be something worth considering. I'm going to trim to Get Lost. I don't want to give them maps, man. The maps are so detrimental. Because they have Michelangelo and they have Bristly Bill. So they have a lot more counter synergies to use the maps on. Just makes it a lot riskier. I mean, the sand just doesn't function. Okay. I guess this is good enough. You know what? Fuck that. I'm putting back Get Lost. I really, I don't know if you guys know this, but I really, really don't like Get Lost. Period. Have you noticed that I'm not a very big fan of Get Lost? Could you tell that? It feels like one of those cards that's just a necessary evil. Like the people who put Get Lost in their deck, nobody ever wants to do that. People just feel like they do it because they have to, you know. It's like none of us actually want to play it. It's just that we have to. We have a choice. One, two, three. Feeling good about this game. If you draw a land, we get to go these two. This deck would love some lay-down arms. I mean, you could consider playing the new turtle removal spell in this deck. The one that you have to enchant a basic land. Like, that could be something you consider. But it doesn't hit, it only hits creatures. So, unlike Sheltered, it doesn't, or Get Lost, it doesn't hit planeswalkers, enchantments, anything like that. So, the reason people play Sheltered and Get Lost is just because they have. I don't know why they give to me a fish, by the way. The reason people play those cards is just because they're much more versatile, you know? Prismatic Ending? I'd play it. I'm not even sure the mana is good enough for Prismatic Ending. Like, people would probably play it, but I'm not convinced it would be that good. By the way, they still have 6 cards in their hand. And I don't think did they miss a land drop? I don't remember. They may have missed one. Yeah, exactly. We'd just be in a starting 10 meta all over again. I don't know how I win this game. I was gonna say just play towards leveling up figure next turn. I mean, I can't even really go wide against them. Because they're just gonna be able to play the fetch twice next turn, and they're gonna have like a 4/4, a 6/8, and a 4/4, you know? Like I can't even really go wide against that. They just have a better wide board, you know? Like sure I can start putting counters, but that's my whole turn. You know, they get to put counters in their shit for free next turn and play more spells. Like I don't think that's a winning line. I think my only way out at this point is just try to like make a big figure of Fable and hope that's good enough. Because I can't really do much else. What is Repel Calamity? I'm not familiar with that one. This Landfall deck's pretty good, isn't it? It's a good deck, isn't it? Okay, you win. Yeah, I'm out of here. All right, you win. But being a sorcerer on that one is kind of tough too. So it's like, you know, they have their ups and downs. Alright, sure. Word. Word up. You got it, Chief. Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Get out. So how about I go... I kind of want to seam rip the trainer this turn, just in case they have a portal. How about I just go... I don't know if this is the right play, but I'm going to do this. Get a Momo. And then next turn I can go Halia, or... Well, I was going to say I can go Momo, Halia, Sage. But if they counter the Momo, I can't do that. So maybe I lead with well, no, I think I still lead with Momo. Wow, they're going shields down on Geto, and I'm surprised by that. That I'm very surprised by. Lead Halia? Yeah, I guess. I didn't think... What are they doing? What? What's happening? Well, no, now that they're tapped out, I just lead on Halia. I go Halia first. Then... I mean, fuck, I can even play Drum this turn, right? Do this, trigger. Do this. And then do this. Go to 25. I don't really understand why they bounced my seam rip. That didn't make a lot of sense. I don't know what that accomplished. Yeah, sure. That's fine. It's dead. What's up, Doughboy Fresh? How you doing today? Personally, like Shredder's technique. Shredder's technique is the sneak black removal spell, right? It's like destroy creature or enchantment, you lose 2 life, 3 mana, sneak for 1. Is that what it is? Alright, what am I doing with my life? I believe I am going to cast Starfield Shepherd. Get a copy of Figure of Fable. And deploy the Seam Rip. Alright, your turn. Proceed! Oh, it's lose 2 if you destroy an enchantment. Okay. Yeah. Still pretty good. How is that better than just bouncing their furnace first? I have a lot of questions for my opponent. I have lots of questions, you know? That's all I'm saying. I have lots and lots of questions. 4, 5... I have 7 mana? 5, 6, 7... I mean, it would be nice to get another Shepherd down. Then we can have Get Lost for the Riddler if they do that. So why don't we just go Shepherd, get second Figure, and then just deploy both of them? Kind of in for that. And just have, like, a massive battlefield at 21 when they have 1 prowess creature. I'm pretty cool with this. Yeah. Uh-huh. Brother, I ain't blocking. So they're at 13. So let's go Seam Rip a Prowess token. Level, hit for 7, play Halia? Okay. Or not. Sure, man. Okay, we just played this matchup. I think the only thing I did last time was I cut... Oh, what did I cut? I want these. I definitely want these, because they have Storm Chaser's Talent, Roaring Furnace. It can even, like, hit a Springleaf Drum. Like, maybe that's fine, too. I want to keep all the Seam Rips because they have Otters. I think I don't mind trimming 1 copy of Get Lost. And... let's try... I think I cut a Zenith the last time. Let's try that. Yeah, so Springleaf Drum does not care about Summoning Sickness because you're not tapping the creature for mana, you're tapping the artifact for mana. So like the only way that Summoning Sickness is affected on creatures is that if they have a tap ability. So if it's like Birds of Paradise has a tap ability to make a mana, that would be affected by Summoning Sickness, but you're not tapping the creature for the mana, you're tapping the drum that happens to be tapping the creature for the mana. This hand is really bad, by the way. I actually wonder if it's ever like this. As weird as that sounds, I think it is this. Give me a drum. It's not very good. Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. If they have a tap ability, then they won't be able to tap themselves the turn they come into play. Would you like to pay 2 mana for a 2/2 flyer and gain 2 life? Not really. I'm not even, like, I don't even think that's good. Also, saving the Pixie is really good if I draw Seam Rip. Because I go, rip a token, Pixie, bounce the rip a token. So I think I just have to hold it here. Okay, not bad. I mean, it's late, but it's not bad. I will take it. Siege of the Skies. Okay, good turn. I can maybe even go... I was going to say Pixie bounce this Sage next turn, but that is not on the table anymore. I mean, I'd still love to draw Seam Rip here. Seam Rip would be insane. Just to be able to clean up the Otter tokens. Okay. Okay. Game 3. Game 3. Do. Feels standard man. We need to come up with a feels standard man emote. Shit, now what do I do? I don't know what the best way to sequence this is. Shepherd for Momo, and then set up Momo Sage next turn, and then leave the Pixie in hand. Yeah, I kind of like that, and just like forget about the Shepherd later on. The only problem with that line is what happens if we don't draw a land? I guess we don't need a land because I have the drum. I was thinking like Seam Rip, Pixie, bounce the Rip, and then just pass there, but this line's probably good too. Yeah. Because I don't need a land if I have the drum, right? I mean, they're definitely going to kill the Momo, but at least I'm going to get the Sage in play before they kill the Momo. Unless they counter the Momo, but they didn't shock, so doesn't look like they can counter the Momo. Yeah, it's fine. I don't really care that much. Just pass. I'm gonna hold the Pixie. Yeah. That's fine. But yeah, Planar Sight, thank you for the resub. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Oh, that's pretty good. I'm gonna do that. God, Sage is so gross, man. Whew. Sage is such a sick card. I need to pick up my copies. I never bought them. I do need to pick up my copies. Especially Sage with Temple. Like, my goodness, dude. Yeah, Sage is probably, like, the best card in this deck, honestly. It just feels so good into these. Because, like, you play against these fair decks that are just a pile of removal spells, and Sage just kind of simply just solos against them, you know? Like, it's just so good. I'm just going to get aggressive and play the Holly this turn. Maybe I'm walking into counterspells too much, but... yeah, I just, like... I kind of just don't care, you know? Save the Seam Rip. It's my line. Imagine Sage of the Skies in pre-modern. It's turn 4. I cast Savannah Lions for my second spell. This deck only has 21 lands, man. I don't want to keep this. I'd rather keep this hand, I think. This is the nuts if we can find a land. Putting back unplayable, get lost. Yeah, land in this hand cooks. FUD is a zero-sum game. Nah, not really. You know, some people say that, but... people say fun is zero-sum, but I can't... I'm not good at math. Like, how am I supposed to count to zero-sum? I don't know. It's the sum of what? Ooh, we did it! This is what we in business call the nuts. Oh, man, that's a good turn, too. This is the dumbest bit you've ever done. Thank you, thank you. Any Twitch Primes? Green, red, huh? Okay. Dude, I watched the prop video today, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I kind of understand what him and Jesse were saying, but also, like, I don't know, man. There was a lot of, like, very weird points, you know? How, like, Badger Mole Cub... like, Badger Mole Cub was basically what's keeping Standard fresh or whatever, and just, like... I don't know. I just don't think the format should be like the power level of the format should be focused around a broken card, you know? There was some very strange points in that video that I didn't quite understand. Anybody else watch it? Because the basically the point of the video was that Badgermole Cub, and they admitted that Badgermole Cub was a broken card, but basically their point was Badgermole Cub was like what the power level is, what standard is balanced around, and I'm like, yeah, the props video, and I really don't think that balancing your format around an inherently broken card is. I don't think that's a good idea. You know, I really don't think that's a good idea. Well, it wasn't even most of the talking was done by Jessie. And I don't know how much she plays standard, but I mean she made some good points, you know. Tuxedo Man, thank you for the resub. 8 months, welcome back. Thank you, thank you. Alright. You're dead. You are dead. I attack for 14. If we're gonna balance standard around broken cards, I'd rather have swords to plow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I understand. Here's the thing, right? I understand at some point throughout the history of Magic's time, as new cards come into the fray, I understand that power creep is something that's going to happen. I'm not saying that we should be playing with grizzly bears until the end of time. I get it, right? But I think a lot of people have a lot more enjoyment when the format is balanced around powerful removal than it is powerful threats, right? And like it's because you get to a point where if if the format like if the benchmark is Badgermole Cub and you have to print cards at equal or somewhere around the power level of Badgermole Cub, you're just going to end up with a format that has a bunch of cards of the same power level as Badgermole Club. But if you've already determined that Badgermole Club is a broken card, like why is that a goal? You know, I don't understand. Don't make any sense. Like why are we balancing cards around broken threats? Like you could just not print the broken threats. You could make it if you want to make a card like Cub, but like just make it just turn it down slightly, you know? Just a little bit. That's all I'm asking. Just a little bit. Mm-hmm. The time is now. I don't think I want farm animals against them. Am I supposed to cut Springleaf Drum when I board in the Zeniths or the Clarions? I have no idea. I'm gonna keep it. It's not the greatest hand in the world, but it's got a kill spell, Shepherd Pixie with Drum. Like, seems fine to me. The argument of better removal if power creep is so high still remains. Better removal if power... Right, exactly. But I guess the point that I'm making is, why are we balancing the format around broken threats instead of more powerful answers? You know? It's like would how much better or worse would standard be if they just put like counterspell, lightning bolt, swords to plowshares? If all those cards were printed into standard, I'm not saying they should be, but you know we're at a point where they're printing threats that are modern power level threats, but we only have like popper level answers. Maybe popper is not standard level answers, but The threats are just so like surpassing the answers by so much that it's wild. Yeah, I mean, the game is clearly being designed for more commander-minded players, you know. Like they don't give a fuck about the average RCQ grinder. If you look at the cards that are in the sets, they're clearly designing with commander in mind. That's all they care about. That's their cash cow, you know. They don't give a fuck about us. All these drums. That's a lot of drums. This is way too many drums, man. I don't think WotC is balancing the game around a broken card, but more like all the deck brewers are mitigaming around it. Right, because they realize it is the most powerful card in the format. You know? If you ask if you ask 20 people, maybe 100 people what the most powerful card in the format is, I bet you, like, if you ask people that play enough standard to know, I guarantee you that at least 80% of them, maybe 90% of them would say Badgermole Club is the most powerful card in the format. You know? And I don't even think that's like it's not even up for debate at this point, you know? I love the Clarion Conqueror triple Springleaf drum. That's nice. That's really good. I kind of just can't win, honestly, because I can't beat the Ouroboros. Yeah. Also, by the way, we're dead. Just I'm just dead to the Ouroboros. There are plenty of cards that are good against Badgermole Cub. The problem with Badgermole Cub is not the lack of answers. The problem is if you don't have an answer, you are immediately out of the game. You are no longer participating in the game. That's the issue. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's answerable. I get it, you know. It's the problem is like they the problem is like there's just so many cards in standard that if you don't kill on the spot, you lose immediately. And it's like, that's just not fun gameplay. I don't know what to tell you. Who wants to do that? It's like, oh, okay, I didn't have the answer for your Badgermole Cub. I guess we'll go next. You know, that shit sucks. Nobody wants to do that. This hand is really weird. I kind of want a Shepherd here. I think I am going to Shepherd. And save the Seam Rip for a Cub. I also, if they don't play Cub, I think I'm just going to go Momo plus Sage. This is exactly the perfect spot of I have the answer for the Cub, and I have like a much more efficient way to use my mana if they do play Cub, but I literally can't do that because if I don't cast the Seam Rip if they play Cub this turn, I'm dead. This is like the most perfect example of that, you know? Like I have to basically take my entire turn off just so I don't immediately die. And that sucks. I don't you know what I mean? That just sucks. I think I should Sheltered. Be more mana efficient. And then I could use this if they have a Ouroboros. But this game is a perfect example of why Cub should not be legal. And why you shouldn't balance your format around cards like that, you know? Sage of the Skies. Okay. Oh fuck, they get their cup back. God damn it. Thank God I have Seam Rip. Trophy in a standard league with this deck. What am I looking at? Elf, Ashling, Weaver, Trailblazer. It's like Battle Crier with Michelangelo's technique. That looks kind of cool. That deck looks sick as hell. I might even still be dead here, by the way. Yeah, also Earthbending just has no downside, man. And I get it, like they wanna make the cards powerful for limited. And they don't want to they don't want people to just get completely stone rained or time walked in limited. And like I sort of understand that, but I do feel like there should be a little, just like some sort of downside to the mechanic, because currently as it sits, there is no downside to to fucking earthbending. Like even if you say when the land enters, like when it comes back into play, put a stun counter on it, like you get the land back, but you don't get the mana for one more turn. You know what I mean? Just something like that would be nice. I love how I'm just complaining the whole time, and my opponent's dead. Just sitting here complaining the entire time, and they're just, yeah. It is what it is. Anyways, ban badge Molcub. Kick W.